and you just put it where he can get it. Once he gets it, then your other hand can come in. Okay. Then, when you send him back, you hold him on his shins under his knees, you lower and tilt him, and he swims out of your hand. Beautiful. Good. All right, so now put here. One hand. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. And then hold on, but be close enough. We don't want him to do the whole sequence right now, so be close enough that he can get there with the swim. So hold him on his shins, under his knees.
And then just like push him off?
Lower and tilt. Or he'll push off himself. You'll see.
Why don't you?
Because
Flipper.
when he first gets in, we want to reinforce each skill first. Hand target, hand target. Always when he comes to you like that, you just give him a hand target. And then once he does it, which we'll reinforce it, bam, 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 then he can just play. Okay. And then he can do the whole sequence. We just want to remind him of it so that he doesn't get in, keep his head out, do a doggy paddle, go back to old habits.
So what are the 3 different...
I'm going to tell you. All right, so send him back. So right now you're reinforcing his swim. Every time he gets your hand on the swim, it's reinforced. When he gets there, it's reinforced. This time when he comes to you, wait, hold on a second. You're going to remove the target. So he's going to be swimming. You pull it away. As soon as he finishes the roll, his face is clear, you pick him up. That's what's called a roll. Okay. So we've reinforced the swim, now we're doing the roll. Okay, look at Mommy. One hand out.
Now?
Yeah, one hand out, give it out, and then when he's coming, right, now, pull it all the way, and pick him up right there.
Underneath the arms?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, after the roll, because we're reinforcing the roll.
The roll, not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing. Okay. And it's in order, so you swim, you roll, you float, and then you flip over. So those are the 4 things we're important. When he comes to you, come on, buddy. Come to me first. When you remove your hand, you got to remove your hand. Okay. And then you got to be right there to pick him up. Yeah, because he's ready to go. Okay. All right, so same thing again.
Hey, Pierce.
What you did with your hand was you just moved it to here. Okay. He kept following it. So I want it to be gone, yeah, so that he knows he needs to.
Now we just.
All right, Pierce, come get Mommy. Pick him up. Right.
Too late.
Mommy's not a peddler.
No, he's playing around.
Okay.
All right, come get me, Pierce. So let's do some back and forth. Get my hand. So you always have to launch him from his knees.
Oh, from his knees.
From his shins under his knees.
Okay.
All right. Do not pull your hand away until he's actually looking for it. He's going to swim for 3 or 4 seconds before he needs air. Okay. So don't pull it away until he's reaching for it. Okay. And I'll tell you when to pull it away. So hand out. A little bit lower on your target. Now pull it. And pick him up. There. Yay!
Yay, Pierce!
So you reinforced his roll.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Bring him back to me. Hold on to his shins under his knees.
That's what I'm going to have a hard time remembering.
We'll just automatically do it. Like when he comes to me, I just pick him up, I turn him around, and we're ready to go. This time, when you pull your hand away, let him roll, but then let him float for 3 seconds before you pick him up. Now, he's only going to give you 3 seconds because he's going to want to flip over.
Okay. So he's going to do the whole sequence this time?
He's not. He's doing a swim, roll, float. Okay. He's going to want to flip back over, but we don't want him to do that yet because we haven't reinforced the float after the roll. Okay. Remember, you swim, roll, float. Okay. So we reinforced the swim, we reinforced the roll just now. Now we're going to reinforce the float. Okay. If he flips back over, don't pick him up. Give him a target. If he does the whole thing, give him a target. Don't just scoop him up. The days of scooping him out are over. He either has to roll and flow or he has to get your hand. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Get Mommy's hand plate. Get away. You did what I said, didn't you? Come back.
Should I be further away?
When you remove your target, he has forward momentum. So if you don't move, he's going to crash into you. Okay. So when I remove the target, come here. If I'm already an arm's length away, I move back.
Give him room
so
to...
I either give him a target now or I wait till he gets back to his flow. And that's what you're going to have to do. let's not go there yet.
Okay.
So what I do though is I kind of stay here, I pivot back so that my foot's still there, so then I can come right back and pick him up when I need to.
Okay.
And so you're gonna have to sort of figure out what works for you. All right, you get mommy?
Okay, so what are you wanting me to do this time?
Same thing. I want you to pull the target away.
After he flips on his back, after 3 seconds.
I want you to pick him up after he floats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think so.
Same thing that we've been doing.
Okay.
So he comes to your hand, you remove the target, he rolls, then he floats. 3 seconds, you pick him up.
Okay.
All right. Now back up a little. Good. Now walk.
He goes float 3 seconds.
He flips.
Yeah, no,
He
flips.
Oh, he flips. Yeah, he
So,
flips.
so let's move into that.
Okay.
We want to reinforce the float. Let him go over there. We want to reinforce the float. If he won't float, like if he's like pop and gone, you have to step away with your arms out of the water because we want to reinforce the float. So when he rolls back and floats, then we pick him up. If he flips over and you scoop him up like you did, he'll stop floating. Because he'll say, I can get air easier if I flip over and mommy picks me up.
So am I doing the same thing that Jamie did? That my husband did? Like you were saying, he kept trying to pick him
Well,
up.
he just comes in quick.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Okay.
It's different. Come get me, Pierce. Let me show you what I mean. Come get me.
He's flipping over faster than I think he's
Yeah,
going
he
to.
is. So I remove it. I want him to float. So now I want him to float. He moved before, so I back up, and now I'm going to pick him up after he floats. Okay. He's very, very, very skilled. You know. Yes. Okay. So get him right after he.
I'm scared I'm going to mess this whole thing up.
You will.
Like I'm going to not remember how to do it. And
I
then
have it written down. I'll give it. I'll send it to you.
I just have to practice things over and over and over again.
Okay. All right. Look at mommy.
What do you hand about it?
Turn it over. So what do I do if he doesn't turn over?
Then you either try to get away,
Okay.
or you give him a hand target. He has to get your hand. The only
okay.
time you ever pick him up
Okay, that's what I'm doing wrong.
is horizontal. He has to get your hand.
It's just such an instinct.
Yeah, it is. Okay, hold him on his knees under his chin.
There was really nowhere for me.
There
I guess
wasn't. There wasn't, and if you're in that position, you have to give him the hand.
Instead of picking up.
Yeah. Come get me, buddy. You see with me, he never even gets that close to
I
me.
know. It's like he's not floating for me.
Because he's coming for, well, and I'm going to show you why. When he's coming to me, when my target is out there, I'm already an arm's length away. When I pull it away, I'm nowhere near him.
No, he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. You did it. We taught him to yell help. So move it more this way so that you have more room. If you go too close to that, he's going to, buddy, go there.
Pay attention.
All right, look at mommy. Ready? Pull it away. Move back a little bit. Move back. Back up. Good. And pick him up.
Yay!
Now that wasn't a 3-second flow, but it was longer than it. You know, he wasn't.
Is there a
flipping
reason
over.
why he's not floating for?
Because he doesn't have to. Because he gets his air, he gets his breath, and he wants to keep going.
So it's because he's more skilled and he's not floating as much? Okay.
And because he knows he can get to the he can get to the side or to the wall, or he can get somewhere where he can get air. Like on man, when he rolls, he floats.
Now you're
Perfect.
Oh, Pierce, we'll be thinking you're doing that every
Come
time.
this way, yeah. So you have room. The other thing I do when I'm backing up, I take my hands out of the water. Like, I'm not coming to get you. Really, is what you're saying to him.
So we're just reinforcing to make him. We want to make him float. That's why.
We have to reinforce the flow, otherwise he'll stop doing it. Well, not just that. One, we have to reinforce the flow because it needs to be reinforced, because it doesn't get reinforced. What's going to get reinforced a lot is him swimming. Two, if you always scoop him up, he's going to stop doing an action. Good work, buddy. So now I want you to do that. I want you to just pull out the float and have him float. And then pick him up. So arms length away, just say we're floating. See you float, buddy. And then pick him up, pick him up. Mommy did that.
And why can't he turn over and swim after he does that?
He can, but right now we're just, well, no. What I'm teaching is to reinforce each of the skills right when you get in the pool, and that's it.
Okay.
I mean, it should take about 4 minutes of your pool time.
Okay.
Once you reinforce each of them, then he can do whatever.
Okay.
But
Cool.
and the reason is he will go in and he will start doing things like lifting his head and getting air and then getting the side. He's getting reinforced for those behaviors too. If you don't practice these behaviors,
They'll go away.
those other behaviors are going to go
Take over.
exactly. Okay. And everybody. All right. So this time, let's see. Oh, so okay. So there's two things we do. We reinforce the 4 skills in order. Swim, float, swim, which is swim, roll, float, flip over. Then we pull out the float by itself. That's what we just did. You're probably going to want to do that when you're swimming in the water with them. Just say, okay, you've been playing, let's float here. Let's see your float. And do a float because you're going to want to reinforce it. Because he's going to swim a lot. He's going to swim more than he's going to float. Okay. He's going to swim a lot. That is very good floating. Okay, so now on the sequence, I just interrupted it, but we reinforce the swim, we reinforce the roll, you reinforce the float like once. Okay, let's do that one more time where you reinforce the float, and then we'll move on to the flip over. Okay, all right, look at Mom. And target, one hand is the target. Good. Back up, back up, back up. Put your hands out of the water. Yeah.
Whenever at it.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I got it wrong?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Now
No.
reinforce the float.
You don't have to do it in this order, but you can. Go ahead and work on it. You don't have to do that slow right now. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not going to give you like a 5-minute float because he wants to swim.
Okay.
So if we're reinforcing the float, you have about 3 to 4 seconds and then you need to. All right, come back to me. And then now the final thing we're going to reinforce is the flip over. So after he's floating, you take your hand away, he rolls and floats. Make sure you're behind his head, make sure you're an arm's length away, and you put your hand out as a target. And that's how it's going to get reinforced.